Okay, so this video is going to be a little bit different. Normally I would spend hours writing out a script trying to find a way to word my thoughts in a more entertaining fashion for you guys, but because I finally had time to sit down and read chapter 253 of JJK, I wanted to give my predictions and thoughts on the whole Sakuna versus Kusakabe fight while they're still fresh up here. First off, let's just start off by saying that there's no way, shape, or form that Kusakabe is going to walk away with the victory from this fight. There's no way Gege's pulling the whole Dark Horse situation where after fighting off all the people who actually stood a chance of taking him down, the one to finally kill the King of Curses is going to end up being Kusakabe. That's just not happening. Especially now that Sakuna just did a Black Flash, which means his curse energy output is at over 120%. He's beyond max now. It's just not happening. Nah, this fight is simply just a stopgap to buy time for the three characters that actually stand a chance of taking out Sakuna. You know, Maki, Yuta, and Yuji, because eventually they are coming back. I mean, I know Maki just got hit with a whole Black Flash and got sent off panel to where we don't even get to see her body, but more than likely that just knocked her out for a few minutes, probably just the duration of this fight right here, and then once it's over or once Kusakabe's about to die, she's going to wake back up and jump right back in it. I'll be honest, I don't exactly remember what happened to Yuji. I believe he was teleported away the same time Yuta was, which just means that he's off-screen healing right now, and once he's fully healed up or at the very least able to walk again, he's going to want to jump right back in. Now, Yuta, on the other hand, he is a little bit more up in the air than the other two. I would say he probably has like a 55% chance of surviving, and the only reason why I'm giving him the majority chance is simply because there was no like narration saying that he officially died. So even though he was cut in half, because of the fact that he was teleported away so quickly, I do think there's a good chance he could heal up and rejoin the fight. So yeah, this whole Kusakabe versus Sakuna fight is simply here just to buy time for those three characters to heal up and rejoin the fight. But I actually think this might be the smartest thing that Gege's done this entire arc narrative-wise since the Gojo vs Sakuna fight started. Because now that you have Kusakabe, the last character that anyone suspected out of all these characters that showed up on the battlefield to take on Sakuna in a 1v1, whether you think it's bad writing or good writing, you gotta admit it has you interested. At least enough to check out chapter 254 just to see what ends up happening. And because Gege is a master at showing off action in the manga, this fight from the jump is going to be amazing. Now that being said, I don't think it's actually going to be a fight. I think a majority of chapter 254 is going to be Kusakabe just running. Now, I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't think Kusakabe is just going to run off and say fuck the world unless it couldn't win. I think he's going to run and try to find a way to like devise a strategy that will actually let him stand a chance of going 1v1 against Sakuna, even though there's pretty much nothing he can really do that actually would put him on the same level. But I will say that I think that's actually where Kusakabe's advantage in this fight actually comes into play, because Sakuna already knows, even though he's already at 120%, he knows that Kusakabe can't stand a chance against him, so more than likely he's going to hold back against him more than he did against everyone else, just to play with him a little bit, which will end up drawing out the fight more, and again giving the other characters more time to heal up and rejoin. So yeah, more than likely we're going to see Sakuna throwing like simple cleaves at Kusakabe, just throwing some simple slashes at him, and Kusakabe using his simple domain to block them like he did the first time when he was defending Higuruma. And it's going to be a mixture of that and maybe Kusakabe doing a few slashes at him, mostly missing or just not, phasing Sakuna at all. And I think a majority of chapter 254 is just going to be that back and forth affair between the two of them, until we get to near the end of the chapter, where Kusakabe is going to actually lure Sakuna into a situation where he has a chance of landing an attack that we never get to see him pull off before. And what I mean by that is that he's going to use the Evening Moon, something that he tried to use at one point but eventually got stopped. This time I think we're actually going to finally see Gege pull that move out, because it seems to be Kusakabe's like signature move, his like ultimate attack. We're going to see him use that against Sakuna, and that's going to damage Sakuna just a little bit. I don't think it's going to do too much damage to him. It's not going to put Sakuna in any danger, but it's going to impress Sakuna enough that he's going to take him a little bit more seriously. And then over in chapter 255, I think we're just going to see Sakuna just dog stomp on Kusakabe. Like, he won't kill him in that chapter, but he's going to put Kusakabe in a situation where he won't be able to run, and his only option will be to defend against Sakuna's onslaught of attacks, until eventually Sakuna breaks through his defense, and then just at the end of the chapter, just as he's about to kill him, that's when someone like Maki, Yuji, Yuta, or maybe a fourth character that we didn't even think about like Hikari might show up and step in and take over the fight. Although that being said, I don't think Hikari is a great matchup for Sakuna. I mean, I know his domain expansion, if he hits the jackpot, makes him basically immortal, but I feel like Sakuna is going to be able to get around that very easily, or at the very least, with how lucky Sakuna has been shown to be, I doubt Hikari is going to be able to get the jackpot against him. Now, if I'm being completely honest, the person I actually would want to see step in to take over the fight from Kusakabe would probably be Takaba, simply because I don't think we got to see enough of him versus Kenjaku, and I'd like to see actually how he stands up against Sakuna at this point. I mean, that being said, I don't think he beats Sakuna, but it will be interesting seeing how Sakuna would deal with his curse technique. But anyway, that's my prediction for the whole Kusakabe versus Sakuna fight. I think it's going to be spread out over 2 chapters. I guess technically 3, with the 3rd chapter being the one where the next person officially takes over the fight. But I don't expect it to last much longer than that, and I don't think it's going to be a one and done chapter. Because, again, the whole point of this fight, in my opinion, is for Gege to give the other characters a reasonable amount of time to basically be off screen so that we can believe they had time to heal up. And if it is going to be a one and done chapter, then the person who's going to be taking over the fight again is Maki, which, if that's the case, then there was really no point in having her be knocked off screen by the Black Flash. But hey, those are just my thoughts and predictions. Let me know in the comments down below what you think is going to happen over the next few chapters with this whole Kusakabe versus Sakuna fight. Anyway, that's it for the video, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I know I don't usually talk about JJK on the channel, but after reading the chapter and seeing the setup for this matchup, it actually had me really interested, more interested than I've been in a very long time with the series, so I felt like I wanted to make a video talking about it.